feel different watching it now than when we first turned it on? Did it feel different to you watching it now than when we turned it on the first time before we really talked about it?
Talked about, and I think I have more emotion inside.
Definitely. I was having a lot more emotions too when I saw it this time than when we first got here, and I turned it on, I felt really disconnected from it. And then you talked about, then you got into like the details of it.
Yeah.
And then when we watch it again, it was quite emotional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to mention something that you had said a little bit ago, because you were talking about, like the process, how like if a person who comes in the first class would then miss the second class and then come back the third class, is like they miss a step, right? And then they do it, but they don't understand the meaning of what it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a great metaphor, which is something I've always thought about this process, is that like process of animation compared to process of recovery, right? You're skipping a step, or you don't show up for yourself, you miss something, because then there's no meaning connecting to your action or what it is that you're doing, right?
Yeah, it's
so it's very reflective of that, right? Yeah.
It's like a teacher taught to copying skill class. You're missing.
Right.
Then you couldn't have a hole in your,
so there's
in
a
your
hole.
mind.
Right.
Hole
right.
in your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you see the process of animation that we introduced to the art therapy group?
I mean, I thought it was a really good process in that there are steps. So they're very specific steps and they're repetitive steps. And it was a good way for people to really slow down. It's like, it's concrete enough that, learning the step, I think, when we previously talked about it, when I think about individuals in the group that are dealing, say, with more active, say, racing thoughts, or active hallucination, or active whatever internally is going on, these steps are able to get people to focus, to be present, concentrate, and they're simple, concrete steps that they took. And with the step that they take, they could also see the outcome right away. So it's like, movement, take the picture, movement, take the picture, right? And then you show the whole process at the end, so then they get to see like a sense of accomplishment. Like, these steps meant something. Everything they did meant something. So I think it's not only is like keeping people focused, but also giving a sense of accomplishment, and so kind of like a sense of pride, like I learned something new today that I was able to accomplish and show. And it was proven that I did it, and so I think it was a pretty powerful process in that way. It was quick enough. Yet it took a long time to create the whole thing, but because of the small step that it took each time that you had the group, and then building it up to one full movie, I think everybody probably have a sense of, I was impressed and just wow, I'm so proud of them, and they must have that feeling of wow, it was so simple, but we did create this movie together. So that's how I thought about it. Where when with other process you don't get that feedback in a way where, because this video is showing them the process from the beginning to end, this is what you did. Where painting, for example, you can experience the benefit of painting through the process of the movement of painting, but you're not able to see from the beginning of how it was.
Do you remember the first time we saw the animation after we finished the entire thing?
I remember. I remember that that moment still in program. 就不是那个 computer operation computer. So, 就不是
So he was
kind
doing
of
that a
picture.
lot.
Say I get a movie, I say move.
Mm-hmm.
Jibril, take it,
Right.
and move. Jibril, take it, then we together. Enter. Enter. Enter.
Yeah, so if I were to ask you, what is the best thing about animating? What would you say?
It can have a long time, save long time. You can looking back to see what you made. When have a good memory to remember. Wow, that is wonderful time we have had. So that's all together. All our things, put all our things together, become movie, become film.
What gives animation potential to be a therapeutic tool?
Mm-hmm. I mean, just like anything is you, the presenter. You brought that. So no matter whatever the tool, is the person that is bringing that into the space, and how the person engage with that process and communicate that to whoever they're working with. So the tool itself can only be so much. Is the person who's bringing in that tool, who's using it, and then who's manipulating it, and who's, because the therapeutic happens really in the interaction with using it. That makes sense? Because animation by itself is not going to do anything. It is what it is, and the person who's engaged in it may have certain experience, but and I've seen how video and animation have been used, in different ways, and it comes down to who is the one engaging. So you had a lot to do with it, of that therapeutic experience, and that, kind of relationship building or bridging through this process, more so than the process itself.
Did it feel good showing the final animation and seeing it all done after so many months?
Yeah, it's good. It's wonderful. I feel very happy. Enter. Let's go. Enter. Let's go. Enter. Let's go. Enter.